Are you gonna be? Are you gonna be? Are you gonna be?
Welcome, everybody, to the Good to Me podcast. My name is Chris, and I'm solo today. Um, I appreciate everybody running up the YouTubes and Spotify to listen to me and my special guest that I have for the last few weeks, well, the last month. Um, Shout out to everybody that came through, and I just want to do this by myself today. There's some things that I wanted to talk about or really get off my chest. Um, this podcast, not only do I like to shed light on the people that I know that are really talented, but I like to talk about shit that I like to talk about. So, not only do I like music, we talk about football, specifically the Cincinnati Bengals, and we talk about professional wrestling. So, today, those are the two things I'm going to talk about today. Music, I think we heard enough for the last month. We'll get right back on that to next week. Um, but I just want to come and just chat, man. So I'm gonna start off with football, man. Football is back. Okay. It's been a long few months, but we're finally back and it's here. The Bengals just played week 1 against the Cleveland Browns, and finally, we got the W. Everybody that I saw, like analysts and stuff, saying like how bad the Bengals played and everything. I'm like, see, if y'all knew how Joe Burrow and the Bengals play the Browns are really good against us. I don't know what it is about Joe Burrow and the Cleveland Browns, but Cleveland got Joe's number. Not saying like, he's super bad, but when you look at the Ravens, he threw for like 500 yards one time. We look at the Steelers, he threw for 300 and 400 yards sometimes. Like, easily get touchdowns or whatnot. But it's something about those Cleveland Browns and something about Myles Garrett and the defensive line and the secondary are really, really good. Everybody just don't really talk about it because like the offense isn't really good, and at some point the defense could get stops, but the offense can't and causes turnovers. Um, so we won. The Bengals won. Excuse me. The Bengals won 17-16, thanks to the Browns kicker missing an extra point and a field goal, and the Bengals defense coming up with huge stops with the 2 interceptions. A good punt by uh, Renko with putting them in the 1. Um, but the offense, of course, as everybody knows, wasn't the best in the world, as they were advertised to be one of the top offenses in the league. We there was moments. That first drive was great with the run and pass and everything. I love how balanced we were. I love the running game. Chase Brown was running his ass off in between the tackles. I love the play actions that got Noah Fant his touchdowns and everything like that. Just it looked really good that first half, and then that second half, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what the hell happened, man. I just think there should have been some adjustments going on, and either the Browns adjusted really well or we didn't adjust at all. So, you know, it's a divisional game. It's gonna be ugly, but we never won those ugly games. And thank God that it didn't have to really rely on Evan McPherson, because we don't know what he would have done, because his past track record last year would be missing those kicks. So I don't know, man, but a W is a W, man. I don't care. I don't care if it's a team sport at the end of the day. So if one side can't get it done, the defense can. Whew. Um, Shout out to the defense. Shout out to Al Golden. Um, I know Joe is pissed because he loves being perfect. I know he is. I know Chase wanting to get more catches, and T want to get more catches, and they definitely will. Like that's not a bad like that won't happen. These next 16 games that we play, that will not happen. Where we will have negatives like 7 yards in the first half, like the second half. Like hell no. That was just a really good defense and really good adjustments. So in that environment too, like, and shout out to Joe for not making crazy mistakes. He did not throw an interception. He could have. He could have just thrown it because he was trying to get out of the pressure or throwing it away. But proud of him for, trying to be better. Um, so this coming week, the Bengals play the Jaguars at home. We're both 1-0, and they got Travis Hunter on both offense and defense. So we're definitely going to see how that goes. Um, honestly, man, I don't have my biggest thing about the Bengals this season, and I will talk every week about it. I just want some consistency. I'm not wanting the I'm not wanting the defense to be a top five. If they happen to be a top five, top 10 defense, that's fucking amazing. That can match the top five, top 10 offense that we have. If we're just like right in the middle, and not even that, like if we can just be really good when it counts. I remember the Super Bowl times we weren't really the best on defense, and offense was still clicking and whatnot. But that second half adjustment was what really made us into the Super Bowl contenders as we were. The defense came in with great plays, great stops, forcing them to make kicks instead of getting touchdowns. That's what we need more than anything. And our kicker was going down there, and we were able to move down with the field to get into winning situations. Like I said, it's week one. If we would have lost that, I mean, it just would have went with a narrative of like why we're not ready for week one. But I really want to get a win with week two. Excuse me, y'all. I really want to get a win with week two. I really want to see what this defense is all about. The Jaguars they didn't really go up against a great team per se. So Jaguars are like right in the middle. So we will see how that goes. Um, home opener for us. So I know the jungle's gonna go fucking crazy as they should. I'm hoping they all feed for that energy. And what I really hope is that they're balanced. That was the issue all last year. We never really had a run game. There was no blocking for it. If there was, we weren't running the right way with certain shit. So seeing Chase Brown like hit the hole in the first half, especially making it to 2nd and 4, 2nd and 2, is going to be really helpful for Joe Burrow and the passing game because that alleviates the stress from him. And we need all the stress taken off of Joe Burrow as it is, because when you're in the NFL, you have a lot of pressure on you, regardless, because you got a city on your back or a state on your back. So I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna give ourselves a W. Honestly, for this season, I just want us to be playoff bound. I don't want us to be how we were last year, where we lost too many games to where we have to pray and hope other teams win or lose for us to get in. Don't want that. We need to be controlling of our own destiny and get in there without any um, side missions or any other team's help to get into the playoffs. Can't do that. That's what I want. Now, Super Bowl, we'll talk about that if and when we get into the playoffs and depending on who's in the playoffs. So I'm excited for that and I can't wait for that. Other football things, Ohio State and Gambling State, the HBCU. I knew that was going to be a blowout, but not 70-0. That was crazy. Um, Everybody knows that was more for the battle of the marching bands, honestly, and they both did really well. The marching bands for both Ohio State and Grambling are fucking amazing. So honestly, if I would have went to that game, I literally would have stayed for the halftime show, and I would have dipped because I already know the outcome. I think it was already like 35-0 by half. So I was like, unless Grambling makes a fucking crazy adjustment, they're not coming back from that. Um, Everything else in the NFL, that crazy game with the Ravens and the Bills, stupid. That was probably one of the best games I've seen in a while. And Josh Allen really proved why he got that MVP. That was a crazy, crazy comeback win. The Ravens need to get it together while they keep letting that happen. Because if you look at the stats, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry were really fucking up the Bills. Like, no question. Both of the defenses need to get their shit together, especially the Ravens, because if when the Bengals get rolling, that defense needs to stop. And let's be honest, even those games last year that we played, that defense did not stop the Bengals whatsoever. Both of those games were 3 points and under when they won. Like, I need y'all to get it together. It's the NFL. Not too much though, because I want my I want my Bengals to win. But you know, just overall, me not being biased, I love that. And of course, this is a fuck Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they're 0-1, so we're happy for that. Um, yeah, I'll come back next week for my thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars game and who we face the following week with the Bengals and any other highlights for the football. And now we're going to move into professional wrestling. AJ Lee is back after a decade. I was 14 when she retired and decided to go and do her own thing. And now she's back with CM Punk. And it's great, man. The nostalgia's back. She looks great. And from what I saw, it's a multi-year deal. It's not a one-off. So that's even better. So there, because so many things happened since she left. There's more women's championships on each brand. There's a mid-card championship on each brand, tag team championships, all women's pay-per-view. Like, it's huge. And I give her and Paige like the start of the women's revolution that happened in 2015, 2016. So glad she's back. She and Punk will face Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch at WrestlePalooza. Um, I believe Brock Lesnar and John Cena will face at WrestlePalooza, which, if you know what happened with Brock, which some people may not know, he was in a lawsuit where a lady was suing Vince McMahon because she basically um, got coerced into sending sexual pictures and stuff to Brock Lesnar. So Brock could like sign a new deal or whatever. Um, and he's initially like free because no charges was put on him and they didn't really find any evidence of it. But it's still the fact that his name was even mentioned in that people have a problem with. And he's back. And it's just one of those days where what you expect, man. Like, look at the people running TKO. Like, we ain't. It's not a lot of great men and women in there on both sides for UFC and WWE, but we're here. I know at least Brock is going to give us an actual match instead of like Goldberg or something like that. And hopefully John Cena wins because he doesn't have a good record with Brock Lesnar. And I don't know if Brock's going to like lose like that. So that's interesting. The other thing that's interesting is WrestlePalooza itself. Two things. I saw the tickets were super expensive. They said the cheapest one was around $250, which is in this economy, that's not good. Especially if you're trying to get your family to go. If it's $250 a person, you're basically and you got five people coming with you. You're dropping $1,000 on seats, the cheapest seats, by the way. So I hope they get that together with the pricing because I saw WrestleMania in Vegas is going to be super expensive for 2 nights. I think they're close to $50,000 for front row seats for 2 nights. It's $50,000, and they definitely go for the rich for that one because me, I don't. $50,000 is some people's whole salary for the year. So spending somebody's whole salary for 2 nights front row, even though I know that's going to be a great experience, but it's not for the regular folk like it used to be. And on top of that, um, they're changing where the pay-per-views are going to be because it was on Peacock, the NBC like app thing, and now they're changing it to ESPN for like $29.99 or $39.99. And it's like, what the hell? Because now you have Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You have NXT and their pay-per-views on Peacock. You got um you got SmackDown on USA, and now you got all the regular WWE pay-per-views on ESPN Plus. Why are we not just sticking to one? Like I don't know why there's so many things we have to have. Like it's not like when there was the WWE network or even when Peacock first got it, because like the library of all the WWE content is there, all the pay-per-views there. It's just easy to just have one thing. When they did the Netflix deal, I'm thinking they're doing Peacock for few more years. They got Raw already, but then they're gonna slowly move everything over to Netflix, which would have been fine because I know more people have Netflix than they do Peacock. Peacock is really for like if you love soccer, if you're a fan of any NBC show, or if you're a wrestling fan. Whereas Netflix now, everyone in mama got Netflix. You're gonna show more people. You'll have more eyes on you if you show everything on Netflix. Have a library on Netflix, but I don't know what's going on with that. I know SmackDown is probably coming to Netflix, but they're gonna finish their deal on the USA Network. Um, I just it's just a lot, man, and everybody knows like there's already too many streaming services out there anyway. People got Peacock, people got Netflix, people got Hulu, got HBO Max, got YouTube TV, Apple TV. Like, there's a lot of streaming services out there. So I don't know why no one's trying to condense all of them down. And I get it, like money and capitalism and all that, whatever, blah blah blah. But just pick one, at least for WWE's sake. I can't speak on everybody else, but especially WWE. Like, pick one because, as far as I remember, you can't get the whole library on ESPN. I think the library of WWE is still on Peacock. It's not on Netflix, not on ESPN Plus. So, if someone want to watch retro and throwback shows, where are you gonna find it? Like, I don't know. Um, I just think that it's weird for sure. Um, I also know AEW All Out is going to be happening Saturday as well. They're going to be earlier. For what I just saw, it will be Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW World Championship, which I think that's going to be a great match. Um, I'm probably going to watch that before watching WWE. Um, just I don't know, man. WWE specifically is weird because it's like they take 2 steps forward and then 5 steps back, and then 2 steps forward to get us right back reelers in, and then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, um, yeah, that's that. And the last thing I'll start or end with, because I'm redoing this one, and talk about what happened yesterday with the shooting of oh dude. I'm not laughing at him. I don't have his name anymore. And Charlie Kirk, that's his name. Okay. I posted it on my socials, but I'm on the fence with a lot. On one hand, it's super fucked up how easily things can happen in broad daylight. There's 3,000 people at that thing he was having, and his wife and his 2 kids were there and witnessed that. And if you saw the video, that was a very calculated shot. That definitely hit an artery in the jugular the way the blood was spurting out of him, out of his neck. It made my stomach do flips for sure. It's just gnarly. And not gnarly because I haven't seen shit like that before, but as I was telling people, like, someone recorded that on, like, and of course they didn't record it knowing that he was gonna get shot, but they recorded it on their, iPhone 16s and iPhone 15s. Um, they got the 4K camera, so you saw that clear as day. Saw the hole, saw the blood, saw his face clearly, like, insane. So everybody's on the fence with this because one half is like, no matter your political stance, that was a nasty assassination. No one should have died like that, no matter what your view is. And then on the other hand, it's like that man was talking about how there should be but I'm paraphrasing, but there are casualties when it comes to people keeping the Second Amendment rights of the right to bear arms with guns. And I never agreed with his views. Not really at well, not at all, honestly. But it's something that we live in a society where it's hard to distinguish what they said or did versus like the human empathy part. The moral compass is super fucked up. And we saw that with Hulk Hogan when he passed. Half of the world were like, damn, RIP to Hulk. He's maybe one of the reasons I got into wrestling. Yada, 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 all that stuff. Other half was, we're smoking on Hulk Hogan pack. Fuck Hulk Hogan. He's a piece of shit. He's a racist. Never apologized for anything he did and was still doing racist shit even before he passed. I always said fuck Hulk Hogan before he passed, so it wasn't news. It wasn't new to me with all his racist antics and his just disrespect for the wrestling community and all that stuff. So I I always had that. So, but everybody was on the fence with that, and everybody was like, "That's kind of fucked up," but it's how you feel. Like, I'm not going to tell somebody to not pray for their family because they do need prayer. Because at the end of the day, morally, they just saw their father and her husband get killed in broad daylight in front of 3,000 people. That's gonna haunt them for a while. And not only that, the video is spreading like wildfire on the internet. You could definitely find it right now on Twitter, on because I saw it on Threads, the Instagram one. Like, you can find it and find the one that's not blurred. It's easy out there. And now these kids that don't have a dad are gonna grow up and know like the video of their dad's assassination is out there online somewhere. And I know it's gonna hurt though, because it may be queasy, like I said earlier. But on the other hand, there was a Minnesota senator that got murdered in their home earlier this year. They were cracking jokes. I mean the right side. And all of what's happening with Gaza, all of what's happening with the illegal immigrants and rounding them up and try to get them out. And I understand, and then you see all of that, and then you understand why people don't have empathy for what's happening. There's so much bullshit going on in this country that we're losing all the morals. Because of maybe a decade ago, you could have gotten people to say like, "Damn, R.I.P." Like I never really fuck with him, but like that's a crazy way to go out. Never want to see him die for real. Like wild. But then you start thinking about how this country is so two-faced. The same country that when Trayvon Martin got killed, they went to Zimmerman and getting autographs and everything with him. It's the same country that wants us to pray for a family and pray for a man that said that there should be casualties and people will get killed to try to keep the right to keep guns in the house, which is also the same company or same, excuse me, the same country that thought the Sandy Hook shooting wasn't real. And that was one of them. As a black guy, like seeing that, they don't really care about Black Lives Matter. Hell, they said not Trayvon, but George Floyd was a thug and he deserved to be killed like that. Same people. So it's definitely it sucks that it's not this situation isn't black and white anymore because it used to be. It used to be either you're a good person and you pray for them, or if you didn't pray for them and said fuck you, you're a piece of shit no matter what side you were on. And now we're in this gray area because of what's going on in this world. And they are already blaming that it's a Democratic person who shot him, which we really don't know. We don't know. And they just released the dude that we thought shot him. So the real perpetrator is out there and we don't know. And also at the same time, there was another school shooting that happened in Colorado yesterday that got overshadowed with Kirk's death. So it's like you're seeing in real time, like they're saying pray for him, but not praying for, you know, the kids that got killed in Colorado. They equally deserve the prayers, and equally that community deserves to have everybody's prayers for what the trauma that they just dealt with. So morally, it's like, for me at least, I'm not speaking on anybody else. Morally, I will pray for his wife and kids, because at the end of the day, no one deserves to go out like that. No one deserves for their life to get cut short. No one does. And definitely cut short like that. So I will be praying for his wife and kids, because she's a widow and they don't have a dad anymore. But you're not going to see me on social media telling people not to say we're smoking on a Charlie Kirk pack. I'm not. I'm not going to stop people from doing that. He says some very outlandish things. And irony and karma comes back tenfold like crazy sometimes. So I don't know. We live in a world where it's just crazy because it's like, in the words of Cameron, niggas die every day, B. As fucked up as that is, it's true. Because no one is going to talk about gun control still. No one is. This is not going to change how anybody thinks about the Second Amendment and thinks about any laws to not have anybody keep those type of weapons with them. There's going to be another tragedy happening next week. I can almost guarantee it, especially if it's a school one. And I just pray that there is some middle ground and this country could get better. Because keep in mind, man, we're not even a full year of the bullshit with Trump and everybody. So we just got to keep faith and hope alive. I've gone and watched a church service with, and we watch Elevation Church and Stephen Frederick. Give my faith back, man. So I have faith that things will change, and hopefully it changed before like the end times. But people just got to be different, man. So not to end on a sad topic, because um, and I don't, like I said, I don't really like talking about political things. I don't, but it need to be said, man. A lot of us have people that we know that are sending the "I don't care what side you're on." That man had a wife and kids, and you're right. But where was that energy when George Floyd passed? Where was that energy when that senator in Minnesota passed? Because I know I talked about it and said how fucked up that was, but I know you didn't. Whatever side you're on, I know you didn't talk about it. Can have your cake and eat it too sometimes. Like you can't just pick a side. We're supposed to be the United States, and we're not united anymore. So I don't know. Hopefully there's some change and a leader that could come through, but we'll see. Um, I, that's just crazy. It's just I can't even fathom that. That shit's wild. But um, music wise, quick transition. I did get tickets to go see JID for his Does Like Ugly tour. Um, that will happen in next month in October. So I will keep y'all posted on that and post videos of stuff on the socials for all that when that happens. Um, and yeah, man, I just wanted to take a break from the interview styles and learn about people. We'll come back next week with more music. Music is just being way too much music going around. And I've been listening to the same few that came out this past summer. So don't really got an update for you guys. So I will get that next week for sure. Um, everyone stay safe, man. Everyone stay safe. And also, I got a new setup. I'm gonna get this fixed. Like I got a new desk. We moved dressers and everything. So just trying to get better with this and trying to make it not bland. I'll put some shit on that wall. Um, and yeah, it might be me for a few episodes, which is okay. And I really appreciate you guys um liking the video and watching it. Um please keep doing that. Please keep sharing to everybody. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. I know that this shit doesn't happen overnight. I know like once I drop this, I'm not gonna get a million views. I know that. Um, but as long as I'm consistent, we'll keep pushing. You know what I mean? So I truly appreciate everyone who came onto my podcast and shared it and liked it and commented and have new followers on both the YouTube and on my socials. Um, we'll keep this going, man. I'm excited for what's going on, especially towards the end of the year. There's supposed to be more music coming out. Hopefully, I'm gonna get more guests coming on because I do have a list of people that have contacted that we're trying to figure out what's a good time. Um, but yeah, love y'all so much. Appreciate you for tuning in to the Good to Me podcast. Um, soon I will be making it its own page on like TikTok and Instagram soon, and stay focused on living your life. And also stay tuned because I will be live streaming soon. I'm kind of just getting everything together. If you like sports games like Madden and WWE and commentary stuff, check me out. If you don't, but you know somebody who do, also have them check me out. Um, yeah, God bless everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. I know this is very, very short and I'm getting political, but I think a lot of people who watch me are also feeling how I was feeling. Um, and we'll make, like I said, we'll make the aesthetics, the closet door open, all that. Listen, I had to get on here and just vent because that shit is just a lot on my mind right now. Um, but yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week, and y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Are you gonna be?